Good morning, everyone. My name is Marroquin. I want to thank all the students, faculty, and staff for attending today and hope to make an impact on the students of Yonkers. I want to thank Sanders and Trades and Technical Schools for allowing us to host this event here. Can you imagine that you are driving back home from work and suddenly a large amount of rain starts to pour down? All streets start to be covered by water, cars and people trying to escape the chaos. In less than 30 minutes, cars can't continue running because of the height of the water. Basements are flooded, and ambulances are trying to get to the places where people are calling for help. Just a couple hours ago, nothing of this was thinkable, and now all the panorama changes so badly, with the most vulnerable being the elderly people and little kids. Today I will focus on how climate change is impacting Yonkers, New York. As we have seen in the news in these past weeks, strong rain hit the state of Texas. I can see how climate change is bringing huge changes to the ecosystem in our planet, especially in this time in Yonkers. The accumulation of rain in just a short amount of time can cause huge destruction. Not just material things, but animal and people too. Nowadays, we are experiencing drastic climate changes, and one of them is flooding. Accumulation of huge amount of water produced by rain in just minutes can cause damage in infrastructure and sometimes death. House basement, drains, and most cars aren't built to confront this new issue. Basement structures are not prepared to avoid huge amounts of water received in a very short of time, especially because most of them are built underground and result in quick flooding, having sometimes just a door and a window. Basements can be fragile and provoke a lot of damage and sometimes death. The drains don't have the capacity to drain a lot of water in a short amount of time. In the past, no one was expecting this kind of climate changes for the future. Receiving huge amounts of water on ground drains gets clogged up, and roads quickly flood, especially those surrounded by houses and buildings. As we live in the state of New York, there is a lot of wheel-drive suburban cars, big cars and trucks that are able to drive even in bad weather. When the flooding reaches a considerable height, even those cars are unable to move. On the other hand, the small cars are considerably very vulnerable to high amount of water. Because those cars are very economic, people prefer them. Small cars are the most affected in roads during a flooding because cars turn off when water reaches its motors. This causes people to be trapped in the middle of a storm. These are some examples of issues we have had in Yonkers recently. On September 1st and 2nd of 2021, Hurricane Ida hit the states of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The storm brought unexpected severe damage from the flooding waters. There were non-stop emergency calls all night for people trapped in roofs, submerged cars, flooded basement, and rapidly rising waters with heavy currents. In Westchester County, a total of 5 lives were lost. Yonkers submitted a $5.2 million relief request to FEMA, which was denied in July 2024. As you can see, these storms bring physical, emotional, and financial damages. During this storm, my wife and I were on a family vacation and had to cut our trip short because we were notified of the damage to our ground floor apartment. We drove late that night from Maryland to New York and faced many challenges due to the poor road conditions caused by the storms. We witnessed many cars abandoned on the highways and local parkways due to rising waters. When we got home, our apartment was flooded and we lost many personal belongings due to the severe damage. More recently, on July 14 of 2025, we continue to see how fragile our county is from severe storms. Thunderstorms brought flooding which resulted in submerged vehicles and parkways shut down due to the flooding waters. 4 years after our first tragedy, we are still vulnerable to these storms. I urge you to consider our past experiences with these storms and take action for a better tomorrow. We must take care of our community to reduce further losses from our storms. Today I'm speaking to our local community, but tomorrow I'd like us to impact other neighboring cities and towns to also take action, to join forces and share ideas on how we can plan for a stronger infrastructure against these storms and take these ideas to our senior government officials. We can see how climate change is bringing huge changes to the ecosystem in our planet, especially in this time in Yonkers. Accumulation of rain in just a short time is causing huge destruction to not just material things but costing lives as well. The more damage caused, the higher the burden on the community to fix. I call you to join me in implementing a plan to support the efforts against climate change. I call you to take steps of a better tomorrow. I call you to help impact our neighbors and join forces to speak up for our community to senior government officials. I believe we can better prepare ourselves, but it will be require the effort of a strong community.